So today we're doing day 2, lines and angles. The first term is intersecting. These are lines that cross, okay? Right here are two lines that cross, and here is the point of intersection. Parallel. Parallel are lines that never touch and have the same slope. When you look at the word parallel, you see these train tracks, these two L's that remind you of what parallel lines look like, and to mark parallel lines, you make the arrows, okay, indicating that they are parallel. The symbol for parallel is the slanted 11. Perpendicular are lines that intersect at a 90-degree angle and have opposite reciprocal slopes. Okay, so here it is, 90 degrees. All right, and the symbol for perpendicular is an upside down T. Skew lines are lines that don't have any relationship. Okay, they are non-coplanar. I'm going to highlight this for you so you could see. Here's one line, okay, and here's the other line. As you guys can see, they're not on the same plane. All right, let's put it together. So, intersecting lines are coplanar and have one common point, which is the point of intersection. Parallel lines are coplanar lines that do not intersect, and they will have the same slope. Lines which do not intersect and are not parallel are skew, okay? And parallel planes are planes that do not intersect, okay? So here it is. When you look at lines AE and BF, they are parallel. When you look at line GH and FH, they are perpendicular. Okay, they make that L and they make that 90-degree angle. Let's just show you GH and FH. So there it is. Okay. All right, and then CD and GE are skew. Okay, they do not intersect and they are non-coplanar. All right. So, a transversal, the next term, a transversal is a line that intersects two or more lines. Okay? It looks like something like this. Here's a transversal, and here are two lines that it intersects. Okay? Ms. Ferber has put down a couple of hints, okay? So here you can see label your A's and your B's, all right? Right here, you know that A and B add up to 180 because they are a linear pair or supplementary. Here, you know that A is congruent to A because they are vertical. And then when we put it all together, okay, you have the transversal with the two lines. You have the relationships A, B, B, A. The top looks like the bottom. All right? Now we're going to look at different angle relationships. So, alternate interior angles, okay. Again, for these terms, you're going to use the words. You're going to use the words. So, alternate means to switch. Interior is inside. So, these alternate interior angles are switch and inside. So, here you go. The triangles right here, right there. And then the rectangles. They're switch and they're inside. Okay? One helpful thing to remember alternate interior angles is they make that Z. Okay? Alright, same side consecutive angles. So, again, looking at the word, same side, alright, and they're inside. Okay? So, same and inside. Here we go. Here's a pair, the triangles. Okay? And then you have the rectangles. Okay, same and inside, same side of the transversal and inside. Corresponding angles, they are in the same place. Okay, so here, right here, you have a rectangle that is on the top left of that line, and here's another one, top left on that line. All the other shapes do the same thing. Let's look at the hearts. Here is the heart at the bottom right of that line, and here's another right at the bottom heart of that line. Corresponding angles means the same place. Alright, so now alternate exterior angles. Alternate, again, means switch. Okay? Exterior, we all know, means outside. They switch and they're outside. So, here is a rectangle on one side of the transversal on the outside, and then the other one is right there, okay, on the outside, but it's on the other side of the transversal. Here's a triangle. It's on the top right of the transversal on the top line, and then switching, here's the other triangle, okay, alternate exterior. Alright, now let's try it. Use the diagram at the right to name all the pairs of corresponding angles. Remember, same place, right? Okay, so same place, you've got 1 and 5, 4 and 7, 2 and 6, 3 and 8. Okay? Alternate interior angles. Remember, these are the ones that create that Z. Okay? So you've got 4 and 6 and 3 and 5. Now, alternate exterior angles. You've got 1 and 8, and you've got 2 and 7. Okay? And then finally, same side interior or consecutive interior, you've got 4 and 5, and you've got 3 and 6. Okay? Now, let's examine the rules that go along with this. Alright, the first thing we're going to hit up is the corresponding angle postulate. It says if two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal, then the corresponding angles are congruent. Okay? So I'm going to put congruent here to remind you. Alright, so if you have these two lines being parallel, okay, and let's mark them as such, and since these two are corresponding, that means that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Alright, alternate interior angles. If two lines are parallel, then alternate interior angles are congruent. Therefore, if A is parallel to B, then 3 is congruent to 6, and 4 is congruent to 5. Alright? So, for example, if A is parallel to B and the measure of angle 3 is 60, then the measure of angle 6 is also 60. 3 and 6 are going to be congruent. Alrighty. Now, same side consecutive interior angles theorem. if two lines are parallel, consecutive interior angles are supplementary. So you've got these two being parallel, okay, and then you have the consecutive angles being supplementary. So these ones add up to 180. I should have marked these ones congruent. Okay? So angle 4 is supplementary to angle 6. All right? The other same side interior is angle 3 and angle 5. So if this is 70, you know that angle 5 is going to be 110. Okay? All right. My favorite, the Z. My favorite, alternate exterior. All right? So if C is parallel to D, all right, angle 1, okay, right here, is going to be congruent to 8. Okay? So if angle 2 is 145, okay, angle 8 is also going to be 145. All right. Let's end these notes with a couple of rules. The perpendicular transversal theorem. If a transversal is perpendicular to one or two parallel lines, the transversal is perpendicular to the other line also. So, step 1, it says draw A as parallel to B. All right. So here's line A, here's line B, and to indicate they're parallel, I'm going to draw those arrows. Now, it says draw T perpendicular to A. All right. I'm going to draw transversal, and that's perpendicular to A. Is T perpendicular to B? Of course it is. Everything here is going to be the same. They're all going to be 90-degree angles. Okay? All right. Now, think about it. If line C and D are parallel and line T is drawn perpendicular to line D, what can you make? Draw a picture to help you. So, line C and D are parallel. Okay, so let's go backwards. C and D are parallel. And line T is drawn perpendicular to line D. Well, it's the same thing. You know that if this is perpendicular, that T is perpendicular to line D, you know that this is also perpendicular, creating the same effect. Okay? And that's today's lesson.